What's up, Airsofters? Today on Airsoft Atlanta TV, we're going to be taking a look at Tippmann Arms M4 carbine. This is Tippmann's, well, their first official jump from paintball to airsoft, and let me tell you, this is quite a unique system. It can run on CO2 or high-pressured air. What I would suggest is for the avid airsoft player who is looking for a competition-style, really good skirmish gun, to have this hooked up to an HPA system. But if you're just doing some backyard plinking around, the CO2 magazine will be just fine. As far as the aesthetics, this is going to be a simple, just your standard M4 as far as selector switches are concerned. Has adjustable stock, has some really good rail real estate up front, and it also has these really cool flip-up sights in the front and the rear. Another cool feature about this rail system is that it is customizable. Tippmann will also include a couple of smaller rail panels so that you can have a sleek, more narrow profile, and you can have just enough rail space for the accessories that you use without having unused rail space. As far as the functionality of the CO2 system, when the gun is first brought out of the package, it is set up to be run off of the CO2 magazines. The way that works is you take a CO2 canister with the puncture side up, slip it into the magazine, push the button, it'll fall into the reservoir, and when you load the magazine into the weapon, it will puncture the CO2 canister, allowing you to fire the weapon. The only downside to this system, as it is set up, is that the CO2 canister is completely exposed in the magazine. It's not a complete sealed system. So when you remove the magazine, whatever gas is left in that CO2 canister is expelled, so you'll have to change out that CO2 canister. But with 80 rounds per magazine, it actually uses up almost all of that CO2 anyway to get through all those rounds. The way I have this set up right now is I have it set up for the HPA. With a remote system, we have the tank and a line, and it goes into the bottom of the pistol grip. You will have to do a couple of little switch out of some of the parts and stuff to make it into this system, which is not really that hard to do. All you have to do is take out the puncture system, seal that route off for the gas, and then you will put in the HPA nipple right there. All of these parts and tools are included in the package. There are two different adjustment knobs that are in this part of the weapon. You have the rate of fire, which is right behind the gas. So where the gas will enter the weapon, you have the rate of fire. What you do is you adjust that in 1/8" increments. Now this thing is a really sensitive system, so when you're adjusting the rate of fire, it is really important to barely turn this thing, just at a little 1/8 turn increments. Then retest it, see if that's the rate of fire you want, then do it again. While it does take a little bit of work to do it this way, once you have your setting, you have your setting. As far as adjusting the velocity, you have a set screw, and that will be your internal regulator for adjusting the velocity of this weapon. As far as adjusting the hop-up is concerned, it's going to be pretty much at the same location as any other hop-up system adjustment for an M4. Once you've opened up the dust cover, you have a screw right here. Once we have the HPA system installed, what's really cool is you can either use the magazine that comes with the weapon, or you can use standard AEG magazines. Now we've put several different brands through, and we've had, while they are sometimes, some brands are gonna be a little harder to put in, they still pretty much work with any aftermarket airsoft magazine. Now, when it does come to some of these other paintball tanks and stuff like that, as far as the Ninja tank is concerned, the Ninja tank is out of the question because of, the SLP version is out of the question. This one runs at like 300 PSI output, which is not enough to run the full auto function on the Tippmann. So what you're going to want to do is run with, we have the Tippmann tanks in stock now, along with this weapon. And these have a higher output with the remote systems versus the SLPs. Okay, so this one's running at like 800 PSI output versus the 300 PSI output. So that is what's going to be the major concern with this weapon. This weapon is going to be basically the best option for this is if you're a paintball player and you're wanting to transfer over to Airsoft with still using your paintball rig and stuff that you've come to love and use very well. This Tippmann rifle will switch over flawlessly into that play. Time to take the Tippmann M4 to the range and plink away. For more information on the Tippmann Arms M4 carbine, as well as the other Tippmann accessories that we have with it, please visit www.airsoftatlanta.com. I cannot stress how important it is to read the manual before operating this weapon. There are so many little fine adjustments and stuff that you need to be reading about before you go in and try and do this stuff on your own.